Hey everyone, welcome back to Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel, and we are going to work with this really fun lift from a Hip Kit Club member that Rachel chose, and I am going to dig into my Willow Lane from Mickey Holmes collection. I wasn't exactly sure about that at first, so you're going to see that I started by pulling out actually my, what is this one, the Stay Magical, is that what it's called? The Dear Lizzie line from like really early, the beginning of this year, like her new line that she released at Creativation. This was one of my surprise kits from Christina from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and I loved it. And I've made a few layouts, but I wanted to get a couple more, and I thought maybe this one will work, and I definitely could have made it work. Like that floral paper I totally would have been able to make it work with the idea of this awesome scrap lift here. But instead, I just decided to try to see what I could find with my Willow Lane, because I've been wanting to dig into this for so long now. It's been sitting there staring at me saying, Christy, come use me, I'm pretty. And this is one that I bought basically the entire collection of, minus the thickers, because they were sold out by the time I had gotten to it. And yes, I love these photos, and I feel like they're gonna work really, really well with the idea of this scrap lift. So I'm good. I've decided for sure I'm gonna use Willow Lane. I put away the other collection, and now I'm just gonna try to figure out which pattern papers I'm going to use to highlight the two pieces of pattern paper on the side. And this is kind of where I struggled just a little bit. I love all these papers, and it's one of those things where it's that first initial cut, right? Like, which one do you use? And I struggled. I liked the idea of this pink one. I wanted to use one of the pattern papers as my background, and then one as the pattern papers that we're going to go in and make the triangular shape that I want to do. So I literally went through every single piece. It took me a little bit of time. I had to go off camera and make my decision and all of that. In the end, though, you're going to see the one I chose, and I am so happy that this is the one I chose, because I'm looking at my layout right now, and I'm really not sure that any other one would have made this layout turn out the way that it is. I'm so pleased with the way it turned out. And so the choice that I actually went with was the leaf pattern one. So it's got little navy leaves on it, along with little pinky purple little dots for the whatever is on that. And you are then going to see me try to make a triangle. Do you remember the layout that I created a little while ago for the Quiltage Vibe series that I did? I was guest starring with in September, and I had problems making a triangle there. Yeah, I have problems making a triangle here too. And I'll be honest with you, I just kind of trimmed it down, and I went with the wonky edge that I created, because I wasn't about to try to make that straight. I don't know what it is with me and triangles. They don't like me though. But I actually really like the way that it turns out. It gives it kind of a neat look to the page. But yeah, if you want to make triangles the way that the layout is showing you, don't copy me. I can't make them correctly, so don't copy me. I had it in my head like, oh, perfect, you just cut it in half, and then you'll go ahead and do it again, and it'll be fine. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. So funny. So anyways, you're going to see me go ahead and try to figure out how to make this work. I even was like, well, I'll just cut a little bit more off. That should make it into a triangle, right? No, Christy. No. I love watching this. This is so funny. So yes, I've got the idea with my pattern papers. I was still wanting to do it again on the original idea of having two backgrounds. So the background of the plain pattern paper that I wanted to use, which was that pink, and then using the second pattern paper for the shape. It was too much. It's too heavy. It wasn't going to work. So instead I went with a white background there. You can see that, which really helped make the pattern paper pop, and my photos also stood out. So that is, I think, part of my problem, is the fact that my photos are black and white. They needed a little bit of help. Had they have been maybe colored, maybe I would have been able to get away with it, but I'm fine with that. I really do like a white background. Most of my layouts tend to have a white background, so I just kind of went with it. And then for the circular pattern, I wanted to kind of bring it in a couple ways. So I'm originally thinking I gotta use one of these frames. These frames are so cool. I grabbed the pink one because this is layout about Nora. I put it over, figured out which one it's going to go over, and I love it. I think it's adorable and it fit perfectly. It really helps to highlight the image of what I'm trying to show. And then I'm going to go in and try to figure out what I'm going to use as the side piece for the big elements to showcase that other side. And I struggle with this. I first start with a butterfly, I pull out a house, the camera. I pulled out almost anything that was circular or big that I felt I could make work. And I did struggle. My biggest problem with this is I like that house and it was going to work, except of the blue in it. It was really throwing me off. So then I was like, well, that's no big deal. I'll just back it with a navy and that'll tie it all in. Now, this piece of pattern paper is beautiful and I love both sides, and I have I had plans to use it, but it was the navy. Obviously it was going to be the perfect navy because it's from the collection. And so I'm trimming just enough so that I can glue the paper down, but not use up any of that beautiful inside of it. And I'm going to use that. I do go ahead and stitch my triangles with some black thread. I think it's navy. I don't know. I can't tell if my thread is navy or black right now. So we'll just go with it's, I think it's black though. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use that. Go back with the house and put in my title, which is all done, which is going to lead to you about the reasoning behind this story that I'm scrapping. And I'm okay with it. I probably could have made it work, but that blue was just really, really throwing me off. I just didn't know where to incorporate more blue. So I'm going to switch it up and you're going to see how I do that. But for the reasoning of this title and the reason of this whole layout is my daughter has learned a few sign language, like signs, to help her communicate while she's still in the process of learning to talk. And one of the ones that she learned was all done. And the point of it is, at least within daycare, is you put your hands up and then you rotate them, showing like your hands are cleared and you're all done. Just in case you weren't aware of that. But she doesn't do that. She just puts them up in a big W and it's adorable and I love it. And I happened to catch this while she was being adorable and I love it. So I wanted to definitely document this story because it is something that is very unique to her. Jackson didn't do it as much as she does, so I love it. And I really, really wanted to be able to document it. However, with it being just an everyday story, the certain elements to bring into it was a little like iffy or playful, if you want to look at it that way, because I could choose whichever way I wanted to do it. And I do decide to go with the butterflies in the collection, and I picked all the dimensional ones, and I was struggling again. There's something about that darker blue with this layout. It's just not working. Finally, I get the bright idea, hello, you have a pattern paper with butterflies on it. Just fussy cut out a couple of butterflies to make it work, and then you only have to use the yellow and the teal and the pink. I do, of course, add that one blue one just for a pop of fun and playfulness of a different color, but it's now only in that one spot. You'll see I try to bring it into a couple other places, but I take it away because just that one little pop works for me. Your eye does go to it. You see it, so you notice the butterflies throughout the layout, but it's not too distracting. Like, my eye still goes to my photos and her being super adorable. I love it. You can see I also used one of the fun little cards that came in the collection. They're meant to be a journaling card. Like, you could actually take the little piece out and write on it. I don't do that. I journal down at the bottom where you can see I made little lines with my stitching. That's where I'm going to put my journaling. I wanted an element down there. I couldn't use within the scrap left that we're using. I couldn't use that vertical line. It looked a little random to me. And I wasn't going to make that work. I knew I wasn't going to like it even if I attempted it. So I took that element away, but I wanted to be able to add one more element. So there was something on the bottom, and that is how I was able to make that work. And of course, I don't just want journaling down there, so I have to do something. And in the end, I choose to use house and 2 little word phrases. One says wonderful you, one says happy, happy, and a little heart that says you are loved. So I am repeating the colors of the pink and the yellow and the teal, with black being the fact that there's black in my frame, there's black in my stitching. And I also added this really fun puffy sticker on the photo of her without a frame that says hello sweetheart. And then I just, at the very end, you'll see I'll add one up at the very top by that teal butterfly that says hello darling. And I'll punch my date up there so you can see the date. So it all has a nice visual flow to it. And you can see I'll do the same thing with the yellow. I do yellow. There's a yellow butterfly over by my photos. There's one by my title. And then with the yellow heart, it goes down by the journaling. And, it's got my very happy visual triangle that you hear me say it every time I do a layout, because I do it in everything I do. So I'm super pleased with the way this layout turned out. And I hope you will hop on over and check out Rachel's take on how she took on this beautiful scrap lift. We had a lot of fun. We are flipped this month as well, so you'll notice that the scrap lift is later in the month and our sketch was earlier. We just kind of mix it up. Whatever. It happens. We do it all the time. So thank you everyone for watching. Like I said, go check out Rachel, and we will be back in November with some more fun stuff for you. We've got everything planned out until the end of January, so we are good to go. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know what you would do with this collection and how you've been enjoying it. So I'm going to show you one more time the look at the layout that we scrap lifted there. Super fun. And finally, my final take on the layout. All right, everyone, I will see you really soon. Bye.